Hello gamers and welcome to my ultimate guide for kiting in HDCM. Before watching the POV, you should keep in mind a couple of things during the fight. The first thing you want to do is to stay close to your mech until you see this icon. Once you see Mechanical Genius, you can use F2 and F3. If you don't stay enough close to your mech, the moment you use F2 and F3, the cooldown will be increased by 50%. And as you can see, this is not what we want to do, because every time we want to see this icon first, and then once we trigger the skills, we're gonna see a 30 seconds countdown, which is the optimal situation in order to provide more boons. I'm using Astral Ward to provide the resistance during the scream attack of Zhaitan. This is good because no one will get feared, but you still have to do the condis cleanse after. Keep in mind, if you use the barrier signet first, you have to use the shift signet within 1 second from the moment you use that skill. Otherwise, you'll not give resistance to the players in the position you're blinking. If you never want to fail it, at the cost of 1 barrier pulse, you can use the shift signet first and then the barrier signet. In this situation, it doesn't matter if you're blinking later or faster, since the resistance is applied 1 second after you use the barrier signet. This is one of the Stunbreaks that I use on Zhaitan. You give some barrier and frost aura before the player takes the damage, and then you heal up immediately and spread in your position. Remember to never use the mine in the middle of the hitbox, but use it more outside, so it won't explode automatically and you can decide when you want to detonate it. In the fight, it's good to get the habit of controlling your mech correctly, to fix its position and always provide boost to everyone in range. Your mech, most of the times, will prefer to work on the top left of your charter. Also, you can use the first skill of your mech to make it dash closer to the target. Additionally, you want to use Mortar 2 and Mortar 4 every time possible to apply those 2 extra condis. Some professions do more damage for each condi on the target. Another detail you need to know is how to create a combo with the Mortar kit. In the current patch, when you use a Mortar skill far away from your charter, only the last field placed will be used to create a combo. For example, Mortar 5 is a water field and Mortar 3 is an ice field. When I use them far away from my charter, in the moment I step in, I'm going to create an ice combo. Instead, when you aim on top of your charter and you stay inside the fields, only the first one will be used to create a combo. After showing those few tips, let's go into the fight. At the start of the fight, recoil your mech, and if you have the mine, place it in the position where you want to CC the orb. Then drop your mech on the group and give all the boons. Return to the orb and add with the push, and keep in mind to always use Mage 2 off cooldown. This is important because in the fight and in some orbs, you keep a better uptime of alacrity, regeneration and vigor. Your mech should always attack the orb to give more boons to the team. And from this moment, even a bit earlier, recoil your mech and use shield 4, shield 5, mace 3 and drop your mech on the orb. Then take the portal, place the mine, use shift signet to teleport the mech on yourself and immediately use barrier boost to stick the mech while giving the rest of the boost. Kite the red and place it away from the group. I prefer to place it in the middle, but it's completely fine to place it on the edge. Stay on the green until it's done, then blink as close as possible to the group and make sure your mech is always targeting the boss. Use Mace 2, some auto attacks and then go in medkit and use Cleansing Field and Infusion Bomb at the same time. Just before the spread appear, use Crisis Zone to provide the edges and extra boons. After restacking, make sure your mech is always close to the group and use Barrier Burst and Barrier Signet. Then kite next to red and place it on the edge. After this, you can walk to the green or back to the group, depending on the DPS of the team. Once you're back to the team, recall the mech and use the cleansing field and infusion bomb when you are in stealth. Do not attack anything until all the mobs are well stacked. Drop the mech to CC the mobs and give the rest of the boons. Place the mine on the edge where there are no mobs and move closer to the mid to get your red. Place the first red in the middle, then go to your green and wait until it's done. In the meanwhile, you can use your mine to boonstrip the Dragon Void, and also you can use your Mortar Kit to do some extra DPS. After the green, blink back to the group and give all the boons. Place the next mine and during the first chain attack you will see the boons. That's the moment where you want to detonate it. Also, you never want to get hit by the chain attack, so you can stay on the safe spot on my left or move a bit backward. Place the next mine and after a few seconds from the second chain attack, boonstrip again the boss. Then immediately give all the boons and never forget to use infusion bomb. Start to move out and make sure you're always close to the mid. While you're running away, place another mine and detonate it later. Remember that you never want anyone to steal a red from you, so it's important here as a kiter you stay close to the mid than anyone else, but not even too much, otherwise your boons will get corrupted. Prepare for the next mob stacking and always use infusion bomb during the stealth. Also, you can use crisis zone and barrier burst while you're in stealth. As long as your mech is stuck into an animation, it won't attack anything. Kralkatorrik is the easiest boss. You just have to kite the reds away from the group, boonstrip the boss and just move in the middle and on the sides. Just at the start of this puke attack, the boons will appear on the boss and you can detonate your mine, making sure you always place it earlier. Also, you can block the puke attack with your shield 5 and elixir S if you really need to. You can safely walk inside the black flames without taking any damage as long as you're using those skills. Now Kralkatorrik is pretty low. Make sure to throw infusion bomb on the group and on yourself, give the rest of the boons and prepare for the split. I don't suggest to use the mine on Kralkatorrik when it's below 10%, since you want to use it to boonstrip the Timecaster and immediately put it on countdown as earlier as you can. Now the mine is already on countdown and it will be up for the next boonstrip if needed. The boons on Timecaster will appear again after 10 seconds from the moment it spawned. As you can see, after the CC on the champion I immediately go in mortar and start to push the orb. As a kiter, one of your duty is being able to push the orb nicely to the counter push. CC the orb with everything you have and use crisis zone once you drop your mech. Everyone will get stab, Aegis and extra alacrity uptime, so you can safely take the portal without getting kicked by a sniper. This is helpful because on Mordremoth you want to use crisis zone only when you blink back to the group after you place the red, so everyone in your subgroup will have stability during the waves. Red is spawned, place the mine and go away from the group. Now the red is placed, blink to the group and use crisis zone, then spread immediately and focus on jumping. Always do a long side jump so you cover more space and it's going to be very hard to get pushed by the shockwaves. Now repeat the same thing. You can place the red on both sides. It doesn't matter where as long as you keep some space for the spread. As an M-kiter, if you see a sniper coming close to you, prepare to dodge or you can use shield 5 to block the kick. If you have elixir S, that's fine as well. After the spread, always make sure to give all the boosts to the group, restack properly with your team and record your mech. Don't reveal, wait for the giants to come properly. At this point, use your CC rotation on the giants and move only after the CC. Then you can place a mine on the edge, run into the green and explode the mine once the boons appear on the boss. Don't rush to come back to the group. Make sure that everyone, including the portals, restack it on boss. otherwise you risk that someone else is kiting a red instead of you. Now place the red, blink to the group and do your Stunbreak. Then heal everyone and spread immediately. Make sure everyone is full life, then take the portal as soon as it's opened and go to your green. You can use Shield 5 and Elixir S to do not get any damage from the poison. You can run back to the portal and take it back, since this one is pretty close. Then prepare for the next moon rip and stay in the position to kite the red. Again, repeat the same thing. I like to give Frost Aura and loss of barrier before using this Stunbreak, so everyone will get less damage from this Scream attack. After this spread, take the portal immediately, go into the green, and if you are confident and if the portal is not too much far away, you can take it back. Otherwise, keep run and blink back to the group. Once Zhaitan is dead, give all the boosts to the team and stay in the safe spot. Then keep Shield 4 only to push the crabs away from the orb. You can use the rest of the CC to help to destroy the break bar of the Saltspray. When you have a lot of DPS in your team, you can push the orb earlier, making sure you push away the crabs from your right or your left. Once the orb has reached the first white circle, recoil your mech and do your full CC rotation on the orb. Make sure everyone is full life here. You can also use Barrier Signet to pick up the bubble if Ventar is not up. Now run to the stacking position and give all the boons. Keep in mind that your mech is most of the times moving on the top left of your charter, and you can use this information for a better positioning. Make sure you stay closer to the mid than anyone else. Then, after you got your red, you can take the portal or blink far away. Place the red and then dodge the wave. Go in your spread position and once you restock, give all the boons as fast as you can. At this point, you can place the mine and boon strip the boss, then kite the next red and blink far away. I prefer to wait a bit longer because I can give more boons to myself and the group. After the blink, I use Mace 2 to move faster. Always use Mace 2 to come back faster, then immediately give again all the boons. Kite the red and here you can blink far away or take the portal. With the M-Kiter I prefer to blink far away, but you can also take the portal and place the red away. Recall your mech and dodge the tsunami attack. Then go in your spread position and prepare to give the rest of the boons to the group. As you can see, here we are waiting at 52 because we want to face once the tsunami attack is visible. Otherwise, if we face when the tail attack is charging, the second green on Soo Won 2 will appear way earlier than usual. You just normally kite the red and dodge the tsunami attack again. Then restack to the group and wait for the barbo to be up on the orb. Now it's safe to move. You can go to your splitting position and give all the boons at the start. Then you can send your mech to tag the orb in order to provide extra boons. At this point, just push the orb in the correct position, and when the orb is low, you can restack with everyone and give the rest of the boons. I prefer to use Crisis Zone while I recall the mech when the orb is at 2%. That's because I provide stability and the ages when we are in stealth, which is extremely useful when something goes wrong. Now stand still and don't attack until the champions are well stacked. Then CC them and go closer to the middle AoE. Get your red and position yourself on north of the green. Then dodge towards the shockwave and step inside the green, making sure to place the red a bit closer to the edge of the green. Spread nicely and pay attention on the champions if they're still alive. The Obliterator most of the times will do the shockwave at this point, so you have to be ready to jump it any time. Once you restock, make sure everyone is on boss, otherwise move closer to the middle AoE. You can place the red closer to the group like this, so you can keep your mech on top of the group and keep giving boons. At this point, you have to prepare for the next green. Throw Medikit 5 and the rest of the boons. Make sure you stay closer to the middle than anyone else, and after getting the red, take the portal immediately. Then finish your green and spread immediately. Cut your orange before going closer to the edge. Recall your mech and after this wipe attack, go back to the group. Now drop your mech on group and stay closer to the middle area. Keep the rest of the boons and place the next red close to the group. At this point, Soo Won should die very soon. If you need to play a third green, keep walking standing closer to the middle area and do it like the others. And that's all for this guide. I hope you found it useful, and if you have questions, you can contact me in game or on Discord. Take care!